My name is Paulina Sanchez Castañeda. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Mexico. I am a student of the career Political Science and Public Administration in the National Autonomous University of Mexico. Talk about gender equality in Mexico, it's complex and it develops in a hard context. On one side, in the last few years, there has been a race in the movements that search to make visible the inequalities in the society and foment actions both in government and in society that are focused to promoting gender equality. But nevertheless, these movements face a view of structural violence toward women in all the country. This context generates rejection by many sectors in Mexican society towards topics like gender equality. Without a doubt, the women. As we mentioned before, the women role is in the home. Since little, we are taught to be the ones that take care of the family. These roles are assumed since little for men and women. It's normalized through their lives. And when the woman detaches her role in the society, is accused of not being a good woman. This detach can bring a lot of violence. The justification of many violent acts done by men are by situations related with the lack of attention towards the authority of men. This dynamic drives us away from achieve gender equality. In Mexico, the woman has very specific functions inside the home. She is in charge of house and the growing of children, while the husband is in charge to take care financially of the family. Here, the domestic work is not considered as a job, it's considered as an action inherent of being a woman. The majority of men are not an active part of raising children or the domestic labor. They are considered as providers, and those who participate actively many times are accused of being weak. This dynamic maintains the woman in their homes and keeps them out of laboring life and complete develop of their capabilities. In the work, the women and men are meant to fill very specific work roles. For example, I live here in the state of Mexico, and for the first time in the history, the person who is in charge of the general prosecutor of justice in the state of Mexico is a woman. A lot of people don't believe that a woman was capable to work in a charge related to the procuration of justice, even if she was a more capable candidate. There's a lot of prejudice around the capability of a woman. The lack of access to education, the lack of support, don't allow the laboral and family development of the women. It's more possible for men to continue with his college education than in a case of a woman. For them, it becomes more complicated, and there is a tendency of dropping out the college for the lack of support networks and the lack of laboral opportunities. This situation don't allow that the women can combine the motherhood and the personal growth. The women who are mothers and at early age suffer rejection from their family. They need to decide between work or study, and This is the main reason why they leave the school. The priority is able to support the children. The state play a very important role in this situation. Also, are government programs to financially help women in vulnerability. These programs for the government are insufficient to cover the real needs of the woman and the children. For men, it's easier to get ahead because they don't lose the support of the family. But in the cases where the man doesn't count with the support of his family, he also faces two difficulties in a system that wasn't created to support single parents. There aren't government programs to support them. For example, public nurseries are only for use of working mothers and are not allowed to be used by single parents. I want to go to Norway to learn how the system works in favor of gender equality. I want to know firsthand the social and economic benefits of promoting system like yours. My goal is to be able to help from the government to reduce gender inequality and the problems that it brings. In Mexico, a woman is murdered every 4 hours. I lived in the state of Mexico, the entity with more feminicides in the whole country. I want to be able to help with something to my country to improve the quality of life of Mexican women.